Holy shit. That scared the fuck out of me.
God damn.
But yeah, I got caught up on things. I understand like the well of souls and whatnot and all that stuff. I know I can't retroactively do anything, but
Well,
I
what would you
wanted
have
to. I mean, I have a calling that directly deals with mana,
Yes.
so I probably would have assisted Mistral in some form or fashion, either retrospectively or at that moment with my calling.
Today, I pissed off the angriest bitch I know.
But I'm probably gonna like just like keep that in my back pocket for now. We'll just say like I was attending to my beauty because I needed to reset after the me not being allowed to execute that man. So
you got drunk. Remember? And actually, you went to bed.
yeah, you know.
Uh-huh.
So if you would have told Bellin, which I don't think anyone has told her, or I don't think she's aware of the situation quite yet. If anyone does tell her, she's just gonna be like, I'm glad I was asleep. Anyways.
I mean, when you see Adobo walking around.
I don't think I have yet.
That's a damn shame.
I know what you did to Adobo. You fiend.
And not in a good way.
You vixen.
Look, that twink deserved it. Okay?
You harlot.
Oh my god.
That's the word I was looking for.
That's my job.
You seductress! How dare!
Also, we're actually live now, so they can hear this.
You've
Come
gone
on,
up the night!
on.
I mean,
Anyways, so we are here inside this decrepit ass wizard tower that had long sunk into the lake. Well, it's technically a pond. It's not even that big. It had sunk inside, and after sinking, a lot of the magics kind of remained. Mainly coming here is for resources for the lodge and some general research on maybe how to not only control more of your mantles, but also to get some insights involving them too, because there may be lost histories here, since this wizard tower was so important to the lodge itself. And after delving into here, Tyrant had to be left behind because if his happy little ass went in with the kill orb that really loves water, things would have gone south pretty quick. Especially if he had a codependency with you-know-who. Which that would be wild if that was the case. But all of you have made it down to this area. You have learned about how there are mana crystals here, some dead ones over here, mushrooms abound, and place is essentially looks as bad on the inside as it does on the outside. Actually, it looks worse on the inside than it does on the outside. And you'll come to find that out pretty quick. Big gist that I can give here involving the sunken tower is it has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maps. You are on map number 2. So, the map is live, so you may do as you wish. I choose for you to not die, but you can choose against that, however you see fit.
Yep.
Okay, immediately commit Sudoku.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump onto these mana crystals and then impale myself.
That's a spirit.
okay, you guys are gonna go kill yourselves. I'm gonna go do some wizardry. So, peace.
I'm gonna do some wizardry. Opens Wizard 101.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do some piratry. Piracy.
Pirate 101.
That's exactly the reference he's making.
Also, hi, chat. I'm back. I don't know if you could tell by the banter, but hello. I'm enthusiastic. I'm just.
It's what happens when you're in the Corps.
Is what happens whenever you become a Marine. Hurrah!
The few,
Yeah.
the proud, the Marines.
The few, the proud, the Marines. Hurrah! Pain is weakness, leaving the body.
Speaking of pain as weakness leaving the body, I desire for y'all to exhibit whatever pain necessary onto the surrounding.
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
Mistral will begin making her way down the stairs.
Why would you do that?
Gonna have to head down to descend the tower.
So scout ahead. Don't just start trotting along trying to set off every trap known to man.
I actually would have.
I just got done telling you of the several different kinds of fungi down here. And they're not comedians.
Yeah, I like those.
Yes.
I'm sure you like fungi.
Or
You look
things
like you
in
grow a few
longer
cultures
shape.
yourself.
You know what?
Capri, by any chance you know if they can track body heat in construct? I could have Gregor scout.
That was what I thought you were going to do before victim number one decided to trot forward.
I'm fine.
Then you'll be fine over here. Let people brains go ahead.
Megaflora. We need to be able to figure it out. I don't know what the proximity is. I don't think I've ever really messed with them. This is all
Okay.
just research and wariness.
Balin's gonna like tap her heel next to you. She knows that you don't like being touched, so she's attention. Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
Then tell me what the thought process is.
Purple too touchy will explode. Blue too loud will explode. Red sentient absorbs body heat will kill. We don't know what's out there.
If it
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so will you
Okay.
be joining us?
No.
What if I carry you?
No. Do not touch me.
Well, hypotheticals. Anyways, why are we here? Where are we? What's going on? I think I'm finally sobering up, and it feels like it's been a day or two.
Mhm.
At the Wizard's Tower we were talking about, remember?
Oh, right. Okay.
Just to clarify, is this a solid wall over here, or does it look like we may be able to traverse over it?
Oh, give me a quick moment. All right, so you're asking mainly involving this, right?
Yes.
So you can traverse over. It is set to where you can. This is the direct path. This is where it's going into the ceiling, this particular spot right So all of this you can move on.
Okay. I'll have Egregore just sort of sidle up, to sort of verify it's clear.
Before you move any further, we're gonna go move you like right here. I will require for Agrigor to make a wisdom saving throw.
After pretty good accounts.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
see.
Okay.
All right,
15.
You may continue.
Trim.
I will mention that Agrigor feels as if something is pulling them to over here. And it felt like not as much a compulsion, but more of gonna kill you. Like rip out your life force kind of kill you.
Okay.
Yeah. Stop, not friendly. Not friendly.
In that case, Egregore would stop whenever they make that save, and I'll just move back. Just retreat inside. Right, the only reason that Egregore would stop there is if someone was making him stop. Out of a threat of erasing him or something like that. Someone I don't think we can go over top as easily. Any suggestions?
Was he able to indicate what fungi colors are nearby?
Enough more than we can already see. You didn't make it over top. You said blue was tracked body heat, right?
No, it's the reds. The reds are the ones that are prone to body heat. But the other issue is that if you're too loud, the blue will explode. And if you just remotely touch it, the purple will explode.
What if
You
we
see-
detonate it beforehand?
Yeah.
There's the spores cause damage.
Yes. What if we're not there? That's what I'm asking.
I can't guarantee anything. I don't know how far the colony goes. It will do a chain effect. These things are very sensitive. They will ride off of each other. That's why they format in these tricolonies. Prey instigates, it's like alarm.
Everyone will leave the rest. Fair.
This isn't something that you can just rush into. Sure, you got to take calculated risk, but if we're supposed to be going in deeper, and there's more of this,
Do spikes reach down to where they are on the ground level, or are they only on the same level as this opening?
The spikes themselves are on the same level as this opening.
So it'd be like in this direction it would be like mushrooms, and then in the clearance above it, it would be the spikes.
So yeah, it'd be mushrooms, spikes, yeah.
I'm done. You said these are mana crystals that have been drained of their mana.
Yes, these are drained mana crystals. These are full mana crystals.
Oh, these are full.
Mhm.
What can we tell what type from here? Or?
Well, because these are naturally occurring, it opens up being able to do not only an Arcana check, but you could also do a Nature check instead.
I see. Now, quick question: does Arcana necessarily need to be in for, say, a sorcerer who is a Charisma caster? Could I theoretically use my Charisma instead of my Int?
No.
Darn. I tried.
Mm.
Literally.
Oh my god.
The reason why is Arcana is essentially you using the knowledge that you have. It's an application of knowledge because that's why it's intelligence based. Because intelligence based skills are the application of knowledge.
Yeah, I understand that, and I'm just asking because sorcerers more so feel magic rather than actually knowingly cast magic because
they're naturally
Ooh.
talented with it, which is what charisma usually is. At least to me, is exemplifying is the talent. Charisma is the talent stat.
That explodes, by the way.
Yeah, congratulations on getting that nat 20 for that. You can keep going if you want. You can roll another d20 and get a 32. That's all right. So I'll go and I'll start from the bottom and move up. With a 3, the most that I can give with a 3 is mana crystals are more easily used by somebody who is naturally magically attuned to the callings that are tied to it. So the planes that are tied to it. So if you have, for sake of example, the sound calling, then you would do well with sound mana crystals, etc. It comes easier to you. That's what you get with a 3. With a 16, what you were able to discern is that, one, these mana crystals, I get to actually roll this. So this is going to be random. These are metal mana crystals.
Yeah.
And in terms of rank, I'm gonna go roll a d3 to see what rank they are. These are ruby rank crystals, so they're pretty decent. They are a ruby rank crystal cluster, which means that if you have metal mana to use or something that is tied deeply to metal mana, for sake of example, like having a lot of metal on your person, you can get these crystals to upgrade into a topaz rank, which would be pretty nice. And that's with like a 16. You know these are metal mana crystals, you know their rank. Now, this is where we move into the 32 nature check. Naturally occurring metal mana crystals, because you do get that info. As it looks as if Scream is like, it's just struggling. Wow. Naturally occurring metal mana crystals have a particular benefit to them, to the environment that they're in. So first, it hardens the deeper crust of of the earth. So once you make it through the topsoil and you move it into like the second layer in, and you start making it like into like the sedimentary layer, proper sedimentary layer anyway, it will harden a lot of the minerals in it, making it harder to break through. Now, of course, this also can affect the local fauna that is deep within. So this affects umber hulks from some of the biggest, and carrion crawlers as well, moles. You'll notice that the stronger the metal mana presence of these metal crystals, you'll see that those, like as a mole, their claws and teeth might have a metallic shine to them, and they can easily cut through the soil. Meanwhile, an Umber Hulk, as an example, might have a metallic sheen to their outer carapace, which makes it to where magic can reflect off of them, or it might render any and all damage from metal weapons moot. They may also be able to consume metals to heal. These are things that can be tied. Now, if you have a large enough cluster of metal mana crystals that start to exist naturally, you can and probably will be prone to finding rust monsters. And if you get a large enough hive of them, well, colony of rust monsters, a rust queen can be found, and if one is found, expect everything in the surroundings, all of the metal in the surroundings and these crystals themselves being depleted, the soil becoming brittle and frail, and you can experience earthquakes and sudden fissures and sinkholes appearing. Considering these are ruby rank, because you do have that info, there is a decent possibility that there are rust monsters deeper in the complex. And if they are deeper, there is a chance that there is a rust queen.
Capri will definitely notify them warily of this information. Because, holy crap.
This is the improv I like to do.
Hmm.
It also means that Grilla is going to get his ass eaten.
Not in a fun way.
Not if he eats this first.
Read my mind.
Consume, grow stronger.
Do I get the idea that my blacksmith calling would be perfectly aligned to this, or if there would be a good level of risk with it?
Your blacksmith mark would be directly in line with these metal mana crystals. You can even use these metal mana crystals to upgrade yourself. Hey! My rig parent showed up. Hey! What's up, Sherry? What's up? Hi! Welcome on in, Raiders. I'm Undead Commander. I'm Tropical Skeleton VTuber. Hey! You got your little art tag and your little VIP. You got your little VIP notification there too. It's nice to see you. Hi. Hold on. Let me give you another shot. You deserve it. There we go. Nice to see you here. I really appreciate Sherry. Sherry's amazing. It's like Sherry did like great work on my model. And by the way, Void, just saying, Sherry's really good. Really good.
I gotta get the model first from your model parents so I could politely harass Sherry.
You did indeed give birth to this skeleton. You have brought life to my bones. Oh, it's so nice to see you here, Sherry. You're amazing. You're amazing as always. It makes me so happy to see you here. If you do have to raid and run, do some after stream care, please feel free to do so. And if you want to go and stick around, please. I would greatly appreciate you doing so. My players are currently trepidatious moving forward as they are entering into a dungeon that has a lot of magical traps and dangerous fungi. But for those of you that don't know who I am Undead Commander, Tropical Skeleton VTuber. I do TTRPG content, TTRPG streams. I'm also a TTRPG author. I make free skeleton assets. My book is free. And on top of that, I debut in 6 days, which I have a lot of things planned. But yeah, if you have to raid and run, I completely understand. If you want to stick around, feel free.
In that case, I'll have Agrigor coil inside, and I'll make my way up to the mana crystals.
Alrighty.
Uh,
Mounts into you.
You gotta go down the stairs first, though, because that's like a cliff face.
yeah.
Yeah, you do have like
Or a wall.
a pseudo sheer drop into spiky crystals. So
True.
Just be mindful of any shifting earth underneath you.
True, actually. And I'll have Agrigor do a look to see if there's anything. Hey, that doesn't look right. One sec. Because I think Agrigor is supposed to have some skill proficiencies, but he's completely blank.
Let me double check on your features. Steel Defender. Let's see here.
Athletics and expertise and perception. It's an interesting choice.
So
He's meant to defend you. That means spotting enemies.
yeah.
That's what I'm having him look around for, actually.
Hell yeah.
And perception.
Damn.
24? Damn.
That's nice. And what exactly are you having Egregor perceive?
I'm having Egregor look around the earth itself, see if like there's anything that can possibly be unsafe as I prepare to move in to utilize the crystals, or if there's anything I might have missed. Because I'm not the most perceptive.
Egregor matched the DC for a particular thing. Right here. There seems to be a different colored patch of mana that's kind of leaking in that spot. The color itself is a scarlet red.
Hmm. Would I know of any marks or callings that would be particularly associated with that shade of red?
Arcana check.
14.
14? Yeah. Madness.
That's not good.
Specifically, the madness that is tied towards the dungeon deity known as Garnet.
There's madness there.
Within pointing it out, can I make my own Arcana check?
Yeah, you can.
Actually, no. I would rather make a nature check. Because based off what Capri said about how the metal influencing the area, considering it's there, it must be having an effect as well. That's my train of thought. Huh. I get with only a +1.
Appreciate it, Shin. Thank you. So
I mean, it'd be the same even with an Arcana check.
I mean, I can tell you with an 11, nature that this will be affecting the environment. Callings and just general mana bleed into each other rather well. Madness is what would be considered a neutral mana. So with there being a pocket of madness here and a conglomeration of metal mana here, this is bleeding into the metal mana. And so doing, there's a chance that if anybody were to be in proximity of the madness pocket, if they were to try and harvest this, it can cause the madness to bleed into those crystals and will make anything that comes to those crystals happen as wild magic. If you were to stand directly in this,
Mm-hmm.
who knows?
Mishra relays that to Grilla.
Hmm. So what if we harness it first, or at the very least diffuse it?
I don't know. I'm not particularly that smart. Maybe Capri?
I'll gesture over to gesture at Capri.
Hey, Capri! There's some
Mhm.
madness down here.
Yeah, no.
You gotta come down here
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, we're deliberately not trying to yell. In fact, if I would have done this by semaphore, I would have.
Real nice that the person with sound calling finds out about the things that are sensitive to sound.
Gets immediately hyper paranoid.
Come on, you gotta come down here eventually.
By the way, big kudos for pointing out the tri-colonies.
My inner nerd is bleeding through because I'm over here like, no, I know what that formation is. Want to throw in a devil's tooth just to be a giggle fest?
Nah,
Yeah, they're so pretty.
that's what the ghosts are for.
Oh, okay. Oh, what if I could?
You would with a ghost?
I would totally use a ghost as a scout instead. Because at least that little guy would set something off and be like, oh no! That sucks.
Hmm.
That was my original plan before Clippy Clop McGee and Slither Slather Silver Ricer decided to go ahead.
Team Animorphs.
But let's go. Love the fact that you got that. Yeah, no.
While they're over there just
Dab.
T-posing, can I make an Arcana check on Madness, see if that was something I could do?
We can use your prior roll of a 14.
Okay.
And what exactly do you intend on doing? You intend on like draining the madness from the spot so it doesn't affect what you want to do?
Either doing something to the Madness mana so that it does not affect, or just outright diffusing it.
You can diffuse it by outright casting a spell in it that would not cause harm. It will just bleed into the spell. With a 14, you know that a second level spell will be enough to be able to get rid of it. Otherwise, you can try to harness it, which can affect your body and give you a temporary passive effect. However, that will be either good or bad. No matter what, the effect will be temporary, and I will be rolling on a wild magic table to see what happens to you.
Okay.
So you can take your pick. You can either use up a second level spell slot, or you can take a chance with the wild magic table, and hope that it doesn't drastically affect your character for 24 hours.
Okay. I'll get closer. And I'll look at it and I'll use the only second level spell that I technically have, and I will try to focus it within that area and cast Detect Thoughts.
Drain into detect thoughts.
You know, it would be nice seeing Crazy again.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be neat? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she neat? Wouldn't it be great to have Crazy back?
Hmm.
Nah. You...
Crazy train.
Look, I enjoyed Crazy when Tolor's money got just taken from him because he decided to make a bet. That was incredibly funny.
I mean, he'll never get that money back. Anyways, so. All right, so we have you casting that spell. You do need to target someone with that spell, I believe.
Ah,
Oh wait, no, never mind. This is just targeting self, so you can just detect
Yep.
the thoughts of certain creatures. So you can just do this to anybody.
yep, it can't be focused, but
Alright, so here's where we get to go and have some fun. Let's go
Have
drain into it.
sorted now.
Thank you for the water. I need you to go and roll a d20 for me, please.
11.
Oh, it was almost the campaign number.
So close to the campaign number.
If it was, I would have shit myself.
I'm gonna make this.
I'm not sure out of joy or fright.
The madness is drained. And for, according to this, a minute. You have a +2 to AC and immunity to magic missile.
Neat.
There you go.
I'll
Look at that. Nothing bad. Yeah.
get.
This is a happy done.
Yeah. Now I get to do the dumb stuff as I move into position, and I'll place my smithing tools on the crystal and begin to try and use my blacksmith mark in order to harness some of the power within for myself.
All right, I need you to make either a character level check, which would be you rolling a d20 +3 plus your ability modifier, your highest one, which would be +4 for intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
It's a +7 to total.
So you'd be getting a +7 to your d20 roll, or you can roll with your Arcana check. So I suggest taking the one that's one higher.
That makes a lot of sense, which is why I'll do it. Rolling.
d20 +7. Yo!
That was so close to a 1.
Yo. All right. So with this, we have a 26. Good. With a 26, you were able to harness the crystals because it is directly affecting your tools because you're using those as a conduit. Your tools are going to be affected first. Congratulations.
Hooray.
Tools, good job. They now gain an additional +2. And because it's a conduit into your blacksmith mark, I'm going to roll a d20 plus 7.
Oh my god, it explodes.
Oh,
31.
That's the reverse of the campaign number. Ugh.
Right. With a 31, your blacksmith mark upgrades.
oh,
It actually upgraded off of the first one, but you know. That's good.
excellent.
Look at that. It's not ruby rank. Isn't that cool? Isn't that neat? Isn't that superb?
So so his points should be at. 'Cause I'm just trying to remember for myself. Oh, he probably got AFK. He did. His points should be at 3 plus. It goes off of what con? So
Blacksmith is
yeah,
set to
I
con.
yeah I know because I had it. So that would mean it's his rank, which is 2 times his con modifier, if I remember correctly. So it's 8 plus 3 now. Is that how it goes?
So 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have 11 points.
Huh.
There you go.
Yeah, it gets pretty nuts.
Updated.
Look at you.
Hold on. Mistral does a thing.
Don't make any sound.
I'm bringing that back. It's a golf clap. It's not fucking loud.
I heard it. I thought it was funny. I even gave you an inspiration for that. I thought it was that good. Players from the map.
It's a golf clap. You never heard of a golf clap?
All right, there you go. You feel it pulse inside, and as it enters into your body, the crystals are drained. You feel your mark change, and intrinsically, you also feel your mantle shift to accommodate it. Your mantle looks more streamlined.
Hmm.
So congratulations.
Interesting.
Yes.
Excuse you?
No.
Yeah.
It's my stream, and I'll cry if I want to.
We can leave those friends behind. Because if they don't stream, and if I don't stream, then they're no friends.
Right.
I can write a dog
No.
if I want to.
What?
I can dox my friends, all right. Damn, where's that? Where's the parasocial dance? That's what we need. That's what we need. The
Mhm.
parasocial dance. Is just the men's with hat cover.
Capri, I know you want to be cautious, but that'd be taking the piss, wouldn't you think?
We have a giant blue 6'3", heavily stabby, heavily armed individual in front of me on a thin wooden railing. I am capable of taking many forms and many shapes, but one that isn't going to get stepped on, shanked, or otherwise is definitely not among them. Oh, trust me, I have deeply considered it. I also don't know if there are mushrooms over there. So, that is also another reason why I'm being cautious first, idiot last.
You just see right in front of you. At first it was amusing, but walks by you. Thank you, Bolin.
Not gonna lie, I thought it was kind of funny. The whole The whole like, yeah, I don't want to move past this angry, stabby person. Grilla just motioning to the side, not saying anything. It's like, okay, yes, I have thought about that. But understand, I don't want to bother the mushrooms. Grilla, once again, waving his hand to the side to show. It's like, but there's this man. It's like, you could take it. It's like, I understand your logic, but have you considered? Eh.
No, I can't understand that.
Yeah, it's. Yep. Grilla would have mentioned specifically the impulse that Agricor felt.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was not a good impulse, one that was sort of like, leave you dry and not in a fun way.
Yeah.
Remember how I was talking about how some people make great scouts and some people make great bait? Yeah, that's just proving my point.
Like the
Well, sometimes the only way to spring the trap is to step into it.
That's exactly why I went ahead and utilized my ability to try to find said traps. And then when I notified you of said traps, I proceeded to work and operate with caution, you know, because it's trapped.
Yes. But how else we get deeper if we don't make a move?
By analyzing the situation and finding the less risky position and path to take, so that way when in doubt we can get out of here. You know, like I would like to.
We need to get what we came here for.
Do you
And your
really
help would make that go a lot more quicker.
So would Clicky Clacky McGee over there, but we both know what's going to happen. If we don't clear out the mushrooms, God forbid she steps on a bug, and then we're all at the edge of a noble's whim.
Well, that would be the other thing I wanted to check. You said those types of mushrooms specifically react to sound. Does it mean we can get by if we're completely silent, or if there's something to overwhelm them acoustically?
I don't know.
You are the person who knows sound best, which is why I thought I'd ask.
Undead, given the fact that I rolled so high, would I know the answer to that, or am I just left speculating?
You would know the answer to that. So what was the question in being asked?
Essentially, if I cast silence over them or overwhelm them in some nature that would like muffle the sound, would we be able to traverse past them safely?
So, fun thing involving silence. It doesn't stop sound from going in, but it stops sound from coming out. So, if you were to center silence on a creature and then follow that creature will not be making any sound. Period. So, that is what you would be able to do. You having the sound calling, you can technically have it to where it is centered on yourself or on an object or anything of that nature. Effective the Skyrim muffle spell. So you can kind of treat it like that.
So I could
And
technically
would that be enough
muffle
to make it work? And would that be enough to get past the mushrooms without them reacting in an offensive manner?
Yeah.
those specific ones? Yes.
Mhm.
The others are still an issue in regards of touch or heat sensing. I could probably
Oh.
lower my temperature to the point where I can get away with it. The rest of you, not so much. Except for, Giggles over there. With all the fire magic I have seen her have, I humbly doubt that she'll get anywhere close to, Again, speculating. I don't truly know.
I never truly can, but, we can get past these at least.
We have to locate the exact placement of the mushrooms, what colors
all
there
stuff.
are, and see what path would be the best path to have to maneuver out of this area. It's just that simple. If there isn't a clear defined path, then that's when things get a little tricky.
I have faith in you.
To do what? I'm not some archdruid that can just whisper to the mushrooms and ask them to feck off. I am also capable of being a smartass and unleashing a horde of spectral torrents to flatline any mushrooms and any other thing that happens to be living down below. But that's besides the point. Do we want to draw attention, especially with the possibility of rust monsters?
Yeah.
He's got a point, though.
What does 11 get me? Just
What? Why can't you? Why?
not today, I guess.
Well, hold on.
Really,
I think I
Andre.
got this. Hold on. Let me do. I'll go and I'll do this. Yeah, see, like you just gotta go and roll well. What you gotta do?
So about that.
That's a funny campaign number. I'm actually cursed. Nope, I didn't mean to take damage. You piece of shit.
I didn't even take the wow.
Took grenade damage.
Anywho,
Missed or hurt
What's the-
herself
what-
in her confusion.
what is 11 get?
So you have a way through. So we can either stand here holding our dicks, or we can just,
We don't have
make
a
some
way.
progress.
We need to isolate where the mushrooms are, what particular colors they are, and adjust accordingly. Because honest to goodness, if there were just a giant path of blues, and I could just wrap you lot in that idea with muffling you, yeah, that there we go. We could tiptoe through the tulips and have a great old time about it, and then proceed to hopefully not die the next batch. But in order to guarantee that path, I have to find that path. And I don't know about you, but mushrooms don't exactly go in ribbons of materia. They're not synthetic. So hi, the player
Oh, it's
doesn't
just
know
this
exactly
build.
where the whole pattern is, and if you could tell me specifically where the patterns are, that would help in trying to find a path, so that way poor Grilla could stop losing his mind over the fact that the druid is over here like, that's poisonous as fuck. Well, we need to move. Yeah, but that's poisonous as fluff. So, yeah.
You mean
Alright.
the path that clearly goes right here rather than going around?
The path that has these things specifically that tend to sort of try to pull mana out of people.
Yeah, well, no.
You can
Oh, geez, that wasn't there before.
What wasn't there?
Just so
before?
that it can be emphasized.
We grew them. They were always there.
All right.
Anyhow.
All right.
What does 11 get me? Anything?
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. These are blue. These are the blue mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
So there is this path here, but of course Mistral's kind of investigating this, which with an 11. Let's see what they used to be. Air crystals. And all of the air was drained. Now, if you were to make a nature check, you'd be able to see how it would have affected the environment. But with an 11, you not only know that these were air crystals, I will give you what strength they were, which was, okay, amber. They were amber rank. So they were pretty strong air crystals, and they were drained out. Welcome back, Radio.
I didn't realize that the AFK would abduct me like that.
Yep, you got yoink.
I got yoink.
You got taken
I'm
by
back.
the Discord gods. Damn, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just wait. With radio here now, maybe my luck's better. It is.
Yep.
It's incredibly better. Oh, I've been missing you, radio. I've not rolled above a 10 except for the campaign number. Thank God you're back.
Quick leave.
No, please don't take my luck with you.
Steal it.
Okay. Take care, guys. Gotta go.
No.
All right. Okay, joking aside. So we have a 20 nature check. These caves had a lot of air mana that was put into it. This acted as a purifier. This cluster.
Mhm.
Something drained it. Now, it could be just an exorbitant use of mana. It could be that it was draining over time and needed refilled by the person who was running the place. Or it's just that it, in general, like, it might have had something drain it. It might have been drained on its own, like, over time. Anything, really. But with a 20 nature skill check, you can tell that this right here, it was drained due to the amount of mana that was kind of pushed in, caused a backlash, launched back out, and caused the tower to sink. Because the tower sank, this sank deeper, pushed a lot of air and over-oxygenated the area, so the water is heavily oxygenated. And as for the flora is larger and more prolific due to the amount of air that is here, the amount of oxygen that is in the area. So this being drained made all of these mushrooms proliferate.
I see. So then I have a quick question before we jump back to them. If I were to say imbue a spell that is typically of air into this, would it restart the mana crystals and suck back in that oxygen and perhaps cause the mushrooms to perhaps die off due to a lack of oxygen? No? Okay. Well, I guess then the question is, what would anything happen if I were to try to restart? I don't have air mana like with the calling or such, but I have spells that you are like air based effects, like Chamali's Game of Catch. Ooh, yeah.
Yep. That's what it would require. It's like how this down here with the madness that was kind of lingering on the like metal mana crystals. Since it was lingering on that, it required a 2nd level spell. This requires a 4th level spell in order for you to remotely restart it. And restarting, it's not going to suck everything in. It's just going to continue purifying the air.
Okay.
So the mushrooms would, I guess, in a way, based off of your 20 nature skill check, the mushrooms would be less of a hostile force in this cavern.
hmm
They'd still be present, but they would not be as hostile.
Yeah. Darn.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
What in the 30 minutes that I was gone, what did I miss?
Mark got upgraded to Ruby rank because he drained the metal mana from these crystals. Also, on top of that, is currently immune to the magic missile spell and has a +2 to AC for a minute. So that's going to be effectively gone anyway.
That's what's happening, Grila.
That's what's happening to Grilla. Trying to plan a proper method of moving through and dealing with the tri-colony of mushrooms. To which one good idea was put forward, and that was a general silent spell placed upon the party, so then the blue mushrooms don't freak the hell out over noise. And then Mistral proved to fail time and time again until you came back into consciousness, where she rolled well enough to understand that all of the air mana from this was expunged, made Megaflora, and now we're
Well, maybe sometimes you just need a pretty lady to be around to think clearly.
and that's why people get waifu statues for their desks.
Alright. Looks up at my statues.
Lady Liberty doesn't count radio.
Lady Liberty, the Statue of Liberty is America's waifu statue. Like,
Kill.
put her in the jar. You
Put her in the jar is crazy. I'm down. Wait, what?
Oh my god.
I'm
I'm just kidding, unless...
disturbed.
No, the other question
Like
that I had...
Spider-Man swept over.
So I understand my previous ability was like, I have advantage on checks that other people are proficient in.
Yeah.
Okay. I just... This is a secret instrument that we're going to use later. Let's just call it my mouse Cthulhu.
I'm deeply concerned.
Oh boy, whip it out!
Shit. Huh?
Whip it, you bitch! You.
Oh my god.
Nobody's watching my movies anymore. They hate Disney. I'm not.
Oh, they're
woke
watching.
enough.
They're watching different types of Disney movies.
You mean they're
It's
watching
just,
DreamWorks, which is objectively better?
Well,
Yeah.
no, the movies aren't necessarily sanctioned by Disney, but they have to go into the vault.
Yeah.
As in,
I'm talking about pornography.
yeah, don't need to blatantly say it.
I don't. God, how could you say it? That's so bold of you.
We know it exists. Release it, Bob Iger. You won't?
You know what?
And
I'm sick and tired of everyone that exists. I'm resurrecting Margaret Thatcher.
Siege already did that.
Siege, no! What are you
That was one
doing?
time.
You resurrect Margaret.
The lady's
Thatcher,
not returning. That does not specify undead.
Okay,
I don't even know who Margaret Thatcher is. Anyways, walking down the stairs. She was like the prime minister, right? Or some shit?
Yes.
Oh god.
Oh, okay.
First female prime minister, and also known as a bit of a battle axe and an iron bitch.
Yeah.
I don't have any political opinions. I'm not, I'm not gonna tarnish anything.
My political
is
opinions are
completely true.
ill-informed.
Hurrah!
Correct me in the
Same.
comments. You
Mine are all related to hot sauce. Huh?
Hillary Clinton?
Anywho,
Not again.
She got that thing on her.
What?
Hillary Clinton hair.
What? Huh?
What, did you forget that Hillary Clinton keeps hot sauce in her purse?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah.
So I figured out why all the mushrooms grew. So I'll point at the giant cluster of dead mana crystal. That used to be air. It used to be actually a really high rank.
Yep.
If we why are you rolling wisdom save?
The sudden stop and the fear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
why
we had
are
somebody
you
who
rolling
could-
a wisdom save? Hmm?
To not be a super snarky person about this person, oh, so sorry, excuse me, face-planning to the druid as to why rooms
Face-planting.
Face.
in a freaking cave! Oh.
Is that racist?
If we had
Actually, it's
somebody,
classist because druid was brought up.
Yeah.
Ah.
Anywho, if we had somebody who was of equivalent rank or equivalent in fourth season of casting, they could restart it, and then the mushrooms wouldn't be as much of a problem.
Wait, hold on. What did you say? Say that again. But say it a little bit louder because for some reason you're right here, but you sound so far away.
Well, we're trying to be quiet, remember?
Yeah, but you sound far away.
I think you're gonna get hit.
Get closer to your microphone.
I was on fucking purpose because we're trying to be quiet. You dingle dong.
I can't hear you because I have you turned down normally.
Maybe don't have me. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Do it again. I'm just kidding.
Jesus Christ. You
Probably an idiot
Sound
sandwich.
like that really did
Good
sound like
morning.
a bit before the slapping occurred. Sounds so far away. It just sounds so far.
you sound so far away. Get closer.
Hey,
Get closer.
anywho.
Closer.
Yes, if we had somebody who was quite powerful in some base of air or fourth level casting, we could restart it, and it would purify the air and cause the mushrooms to become more docile than they are.
Okay. So, are any of us experienced enough to actually perform this feature?
Oh no. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Say if we come back later.
You said that they were made out of magic?
The mana crystals, yeah.
Now, what do you mean by air? Like wind? Is there
Yeah,
like
no,
some fancy
man-
name for it in your language?
Well, mana crystals come in, one of the 30 different planes of existence, or elemental planes. They're
Okay.
made of air mana. Oh,
Mhm.
they used to be. They're drained.
Right. Wait, who
Those.
asked? Yep, that's a vicious mockery. No damage, but that was vicious.
Damn.
Hey guys, I think Soul's knocking on my door.
A mage hand appears, slaps, walks
It
away.
can't be used to make an attack.
It's not a fucking attack.
if you
I
had
suppose that was
telekinesis-
fair. Yeah, it gently caresses my face.
I'm gonna stick my
Just gonna
mage
go
hand's
range.
thumb in your mouth.
It could just
Wait,
do
come
a
back. I actually-
condescending, grasp of the chin.
I actually have a solution. That was a joke, please. It was. I have to practice being a bard. Please come back. It was practice. I didn't mean it.
This is gonna-
Is that water at all? This area in particular?
Yeah, it's water.
That's
Mitchell's staying on the rock.
It's very aerated.
Yeah, you want to get high on oxygen? Just take a gulp of water.
No.
Keep you high for the rest of your life.
I'm gonna make a knowing look at the artificer, though.
He's going to just shrug based on the fact that you two are already further than this seal defender ever made it. And you seem to be relatively unharmed by sticking to the left side.
I'm gonna take it to this again. A Molotov cocktail is a what?
A drug.
It can't be. Yeah, you're very correct.
Everything's a drug when you're brave.
Yeah, that's very true.
I just think it's a drug because they're addicting.
Yeah, I can't help tossing them back.
No,
You like throwing it back?
addicting.
Alright.
Addicting as a codpiece.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mhm. Especially if
Yup.
it's made of metal.
And elongated limbs. Step on rock. Very wary. Would you like me to roll perception to see if there's any tells of nearby horrifying shrooms?
Well, let's see here. I really like to see. I gotta look at it. Yeah.
Makes you feel any better? I could roll nature.
Oh yeah, you could do that too. I don't mind.
+4 is on my perception, so we're gonna try to pray with that.
Okay.
You bitch.
Bellin
yes.
just gestures over to, continue.
Oh, I thought we were going to resolve the mushroom issue, considering the fact that my calling is specifically entangled with mana.
Yes, but apparently we can sidestep that because after what feels like 5 years of arguing, we're through.
I'm sorry.
Let's go faster when I'm not talking.
With a 12 perception, there is a slight glow deeper in the cave. It is a green glow.
To also make a perception check if I may.
Yeah.
Right. Does anyone have it trained?
Of what train?
Perception.
Oh. Egregore does. Expertise.
Egregore technically doesn't count for it.
Oh. Oh wait, since he's would be within me and we would share vigilance, that sort of thing, does that mean I would have perception expertise?
No, because vigilant is that you can't be surprised.
Ah, feck.
Sweet. Check this out.
Campaign number.
Hey. So, you get a little bit more. You do see the green glow as well as you're coming on up to Mistral and Capri. But you see that these are green mushrooms.
Friendly mushrooms. Well, green mushroom. Green is friendly, right?
I'm not sure.
Didn't we figure out what the mushrooms do?
This is an entirely different brand of mushroom.
Our brand? You know what? Are you trained in nature?
Yes.
Okay, I got you. Check this out. Does that mean that I also have? Yeah, that means that I also have the
Proficiency.
proficiency. Thank you. Holy shit, it's been so long. I have proficiency and advantage.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Roll another 20 because you rolled
Sweet.
a 20.
Oh right. Hold on.
Explosion.
It kicks solo.
Every time that I roll with someone else's stat, I blow up a 20. All right. 33.
All right, we'll start from the bottom and move up. So with an 18, these mushrooms in particular are not death horns, but they are called pad caps. Pad caps are really not bad. It is suggested that you avoid them. Because the longer that you linger near them, the more intoxicated you feel. A lot of dwarves find that these are great at expediting the process of fermenting alcohols, or at least giving the impression that the alcohol has fermented for long enough. It's not that it ages anything, it's just it makes it to where everything around it is a bit more fermented and intoxicating. So whenever you're around it, this also includes the air, breathing in the spores kind of gets you drunk. Oftentimes people will overdose from being next to them. They will die of consumption when next to them. And oh yeah, it nests its spores in the liver. That's where it propagates. But if you do have diabetes, these are a great thing for you to eat.
Hell yeah.
So if you have diabetes, eat these. Eat pad caps. Because they will actually help with your insulin levels. So, kudos. But other than that, that's with an 18. With a 33, other things that are involved in the environment of a pad cap is they don't spread the same way as other fungi. A lot of fungi can tend to spread in the area that they're in, and they will only move out from there. Pad caps spread based purely on things, picking them, eating them, and then kind of shitting it out somewhere else. Usually that's the case for a lot of different kinds of undergrowth, where it is to be eaten and passed on through the digestive system, which is why pad caps are interesting, because they are meant to be eaten. You're meant to get the nutrients from it, and then no matter what, you can't process the spores. The spores themselves nestle into your liver. But on top of them nestling into your liver, They will also, be passed into your stool wherever you are at. And that's also why cities in their sewer systems will have pad caps like throughout the sewer system. Which isn't good, as a lot of big businesses, like a lot of taverns and bars, will have pad cap infestations in their basements, and that is where you will see a lot of myconids. And pad cap myconids will consume alcohol. They are drunkards. They are drunk mushroom people. And they fight like they're drunk too. But those colonies are also very invasive and will break through the ground to find and scour for alcohol to drink. And they grow from said drink. So congratulations. You found out that, yes, there is a tri-colony, but there's also the off chance that because these pad caps are here, you stay close enough to it, you're going to get drunk. So you should probably not be near it. But also there might be a myconid colony of drunks that more than likely will hold you, get you intoxicated, and then proceed to pal around with you because they are very friendly. In the most aggressive way possible, they are incredibly friendly. It's like spawns of Nurgle from Warhammer 40k.
God damn it.
They're like giant puppies, and they just want to play with you, and they don't understand why you break.
Rhinos.
Yeah.
It's just rhinos.
It's just right.
The most giant Labradors ever.
These are mushroom rhinos. That's kind of what
Mhm.
they are. They really love you, and they really want to love you, and they want to go and be your friend, and they will be upset if you break. You hear that, party of
Mel-
squishies? You hear that?
Balvin is gonna look at Capri. What are those mushrooms?
They're
I've
pad
never seen
caps.
anything like that. They're what caps?
They're pad caps.
Interesting. Are they edible?
They can be. It's just you're gonna get shit-faced quicker than you did off of my mead. Which means if we move, we should move quickly and try not to breathe the stuff in.
Out of curiosity, since the mantle replaced quite a lot of my fleshy parts,
Uh-huh.
and I believe it's only my right arm, my head, and my upper torso that I still have as flesh,
Uh-huh.
would that mean I wouldn't have a liver for them to nestle in?
Oh no, you have a liver.
Damn.
Yeah, your intestines are gone. You have the rest. Unfortunately, you still have some meat inside you. You beautiful half pinata.
Damn.
Yeah.
Would have been funnier if you said it in her voice. Not gonna lie.
You are a beautiful half pinata. It's like, why would you tell me that? You.
You encourage progress, one screw at a time. Teehee. So, yes, Mistral, if you are going to run past these, proceed with caution. Do not breathe in the fumes. You will get shit-faced.
Okay.
Pinata. Party mushrooms. Bring them to the frat party, y'all.
Dun, 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 just the mushrooms.
I don't need frat boy
Damn,
mushrooms.
Toad really throwing it back.
That looks like bubbly water.
It's aerated.
More pad caps, it looks like.
Yeah. You're more likely to drown in oxygen than water if you inhale that.
You know, the leading cause of drowning isn't water, it's not being able to swim.
I'm not allowed to answer or correct that statement.
What does this look like, Undead?
What?
This.
All this?
It's pretty bright.
This is an opening into what appears to be a very large antechamber.
Be wary. Remember what I said about the possibility of rust monsters, earthquakes, Florida drop holes. They're terrible.
Yes?
I'll keep my distance in.
I just like. Sorry, Kelly.
By all means.
I just wanted to remind people that currently vision is actually on, so we can only see as far as our characters can see.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Cough, cough. To
My
the
vision
person with
doesn't
120 feet of dark vision.
Who's that? Who has 120? That's crazy. Anyways,
Oh, alright.
9.
I don't really see much. I mean, just whatever your character is able to see. Currently, like, yes, there is this small patch of mushrooms, and then there's this pathway that goes up here. Well, there's nothing else.
There's a walkway, and she'll just point, like you guys can see it. There's a walkway up here, and what looks like a landing or something? I'm not sure, my brain doesn't work like that. But there was a ladder I saw. I just don't know based on the isometric style that this landscape seems to be, if it's going up or down.
It's going up.
It's going up.
Yeah. Oh, well. I don't think any of us can see that. You've got pretty good eyes. It seems like you have pretty good eyes, Miss Bellin.
Good eyes is not necessarily a new one. I'm used to being told I have beautiful eyes, though.
Well, in that case, should we explore that first? I mean, we aren't really sure what around here is necessarily natural and is what the wizard who constructed this place. There might be useful things over there before we head forward.
For once, Miss Shaw makes a valid point.
Oh no, she makes valid points. It's just that we act like she doesn't.
But that was the whole point.
Exactly.
I don't like that point.
Oh, that's why I said. She'll smile.
Jumps over the water. With her goat powers.
But
Matt.
can't trust Mistral. She craves that mineral.
What's the
Concern
one that
intensifies.
Well, I do have that meeting with the woodcock later.
the ice knife? That
Oh,
is
here
it.
it is.
Ray of Frost? Frostbite? It's not create bonfire. I know that one. Could I
are you
use
looking for?
frostbite to freeze the ice here?
Yeah.
Or freeze the water here?
Yeah.
Alright. Freezes water and just steps across and heat. Slanesh walks towards the next objective.
Easily just climbs this like a goat.
This is
Yeah,
a
I can
dead
see.
end. I do want a perception check. Well, perception checks on whomever's curious as to what may be down here.
Oh,
No.
What's this? Hurrah!
you had a one up.
Oh.
All right, with an 18 and 19. And 19, you've you all,
Awesome.
besides Grilla, see down here a mummified corpse.
Oh,
Ooh.
Looks to be a mage's corpse.
oh,
They have a tattered banner jutting out of their chest.
oh. What kind of banner?
Looks to be... It's not a warband banner, like how the orcs would have. It's not a goblin tribe banner. It's not any of those kinds of banners. It's not even a clan banner. From the Valorant. But it appears to be some kind of bandit's banner. It would require a history check to figure out what that is.
Oh, buddy.
Hmm.
I mean, I assume we'd be really relaying this to Grilla. Hey, Grilla, there's a corpse. There's a banner on it. Been here a while.
I was really hoping all of you would keep it to yourselves.
What's signet?
Not really sure.
All right. Start from the bottom and move up. We got that 17. The 17 derives what kind of banner it actually is. It is a banner that used to belong to a military company that had been long disgraced. They are now private military contractors. And because of that, them being mercenaries, there's some issues and grievances with mercenary companies. This one is one that you're familiar with. Let me...
Were these the ones I dealt with in my prologue? That were putting people into slavery?
The Paladins of the Rise and Fall.
I know this group.
And this banner is old.
You do?
Yeah. Used to be affiliated under Shuichi. The moment he says that, Grilla just somehow produces spit, even though he's mostly metal, and just hawks a loogie on the ground.
Talk to a disgrace on that thing.
Yeah, that was
You're not a good.
I will say, that's what the 17 you're able to derive that. The 20 gets some more information involving the corpse itself. Because the banner is something that definitely would have caught Grilla's interest, and of course it did. The corpse is a mage's corpse, as I had stated. But there's a particular set of mages that their existence is not well known. With a 20, you at least know who they are and know what kind of person was killed here. So this is a dungeon mage. Similar to dungeon guardians, whom of which are protectors of dungeon cores, a dungeon mage is a cultivator of mana, and they make and nurture mana crystals. They propagate mana crystals within different clusters through caverns, and with that, they do their best to make natural elementals of omen. This particular person, this mage, was a dungeon mage. And because they were a dungeon mage, that means that they were aiding a dungeon core in forming natural crystals to aid in the dungeon core's growth. Oh, and to emphasize something here, dungeon cores always do their best to reclaim things that are within their influence. And if it was a creature that was pacted with them, typically they don't mummify. They kind of just turn to ash over time. This body is still here, which means that they were not pacted with a dungeon core. Which means they were probably freely helping a dungeon core. So there may be a very intelligent crystal that is down here.
And Balin shares this information.
I don't know if. I think she looks like she's considering.
Officials
See
are
if
gonna
there's
first-
anything on him.
First, I gotta give him his, fey
He doesn't
rates.
deserve a burial right. Or his belongings is beyond respect.
Mistral crouches down, starts rummaging.
I too.
You're cutting a little in and out right now.
I wouldn't get too close to the body.
Why?
I'll relay the information. Pretty much word for word. I have cliff notes right now. I'm not just gonna read the cliff notes, so I'm gonna say word for word what was said to me, based on my understanding.
You think there might have been a reason it was left in this way?
Yes.
Hmm.
Undead.
Yes.
I like to investigate the body.
Would you like to investigate the body?
Ah!
I would like to cast cutting words. Just kidding. I'd like to use cutting words.
Wow!
Um,
Man, over there.
I don't have cutting words. I'm a level 1
Yeah.
bard.
third level.
Right.
Do you know what? Actually, Mistral, let me.
And you were about to say something on that?
With a 5, you're investigating it, you see that like there's there's stab wounds, of course. There's the banner that was impaled into their chest. The only other thing that you can tell is that they made an attempt to bury the body, and they just left it like a quarter buried.
Alright. I can't really tell much. He steps inside.
What do you see down there?
He was buried in a shallow grave. If you can even call it that.
$23.
All right. With the 23, yes, you can tell that they are buried in a shallow grave, that there was an attempt. It looks as if where they were stabbed, there are burn marks, which means they were stabbed with some kind of flaming weapon. Which, as per when you first entered this area, you know that's not the best thing to have down here, considering some of the other flora. Otherwise, with the 23, you can tell they fought back, but you can also tell that they were expending more spells than they were capable of using, because the tips of their fingers are burned away in terms of mana burning. So, like, they are blackened. Some of the finger itself, like some of their fingers, have turned to ash. And the most disturbing aspect is there is, like, in terms of the whole body, the body is destitute, except for one ring that is on the left hand on the second finger, so the middle finger. It is a pristine, clean ring. It is not marred at all.
This can't be innocuous. Can I attempt to... I suppose Miss Grila would infer that there is something inherently magical based on the fact that the fingers were charred. And this was not. Can I make an Arcana check to ascertain what the hell this ring is?
Yes.
Eric, use my inspiration.
You sure?
Yes.
Thank you kindly. You're rolling.
Definitely better.
22.
With Mistral's presence kind of calming the area so then you can focus on something that you know full well may be tied to that order. Maybe this can give you a hint on how to actually deal with them. You're looking at the ring and you see that based off of how it is unmarred, how polished and clean it is, and specifically where it is on the hand, you can ascertain that the person who is wearing the ring, this was put on after they died, or as they were dying. So, with the Arcana check, this is a ring that is cursed. It is cursed to trap the soul of the person wearing it. It removes the possibility of them having an afterlife. As you were standing nearby and even up close looking at this body, talking about it, postulating as to what was happening, the spirit of this person, the soul of this person, not only knows you're here, but can't even leave their body because of this ring. They are trapped. And you're the first living people in a long time for them to see.
Find anything interesting?
Cursed ring.
Ooh.
Their soul's still here.
Oh, wait. Hold on. What do you mean? Like in the ring? Or
I think that the ring is used to inhibit the cycle. Stop them from passing on, trapping them inside the body. Judging from the state of the corpse, the fact that there's burn marks on the pants itself, as well as stab wounds that ultimately killed them, they made enemies. It was a rise and fall.
By the way, Capri, you do catch wind of Grila saying that the ring is stopping the cycle.
I'm not sure if removing the ring would ultimately allow them to move on, but I don't like anything that will inhibit life or prolong suffering.
well, I think there's something I can do with the ring and also assist in continuing the cycle. You can ask the question out loud. I'll be quiet for a second.
No, you
Yep.
continue.
Okay.
I've been getting better at multitasking.
Real quick, as a fade, cursed objects, is that a thing we deal with?
Yes.
Is there any kind of check I can make towards this ring?
Nature at advantage, or you can make a level check. So, kind of like what I had Grilla do before.
You know, I'd rather roll with a +7 than a +1 at advantage.
Another roll with a +7. Yeah.
Hey, you continue doing your thing while I do this. Speaking, Ellen.
Damn.
Well, just go ahead and resolve that if you want.
Well, with a 22 and the types of objects that you deal with, Tulul and Fae are the ones that typically deal with this. They are the ones that gift these to mortals. When they do, they have the expectation that the body is brought back into the veil. So then they can string it up and enjoy the suffering from it as they use the body like a fruit. They harvest it because they are harvesting living suffering. Because this is where you getting a 22 is bad thing, at least in terms of providing information to everybody here. This is not classified as a corpse. They are still alive. It's just the functions have ceased. Life, mainly in, I guess in a way, like this is where it gets kind of philosophical, but to the Fae, you are still alive as long as your soul is in your body.
Mm-hmm.
The soul is still inside this body. They are still technically alive, conscious. They can feel things, even though that like their brain activity is long dead, their heart is long stopped. This is not a corpse, which also means that even to spells, if you were to cast Speak with Dead, it would not work. Because they haven't passed on. But with the 22, Tulul and Fae love passing out these types of cursed objects, so then they can harvest the organs from what would be considered a living creature. So then they can harvest the blood and life force from these living creatures, and they tend to feed their vampiric thralls the coagulated blood of these creatures as a means of like essentially an IV bag.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
So I have a question.
yes.
Then. Since I have the flesh,
Uh-huh.
and this man is just effectively a dried out person.
Yeah, they're a prune.
They're a dehydrated person.
They are a
Could I
raisin.
just and rehydrate them? Can I actually restore this person? Is that something I could do?
Yes.
Oh. So, bad news and good news.
Okay.
Bad news. That's a Toralulin cursed ring.
A tortellini?
Yeah, Did I say it right? Toralulin? Yeah.
Tua Lul.
Tulu. That's a
Well,
Tulu. It's the season of fall, for that you mortals understand it as. The Fae of there like to give out cursed objects, such as that ring.
Okay.
Because it's a multifaceted thing. That's their culture. But he's not dead. Not technically, by mortal standards. Sure, he definitely looks like a mummy and dead and all that. He's alive. Good news. I could bring him back.
Well, let's wait on that.
hmm
We don't know why he's here or why any of this happened. Just randomly
Well-
saving the wrong person could lead to our deaths.
That is a fair argument. The immediate assumption I can make is he was here because you relayed all your information. That's right. Likely, if he is this dungeon mage, he heard about this tower, and mages typically keep mana crystals. And like I stated, the air one back at near the entrance, that was really powerful. And that was like topaz, right?
Amber.
Let me pull amber. That was amber rank. That's quite high. And there's a good chance there's more down here. He could have easily just heard about here, came to collect for his dungeon core, but he tragically ran into those bandits a long time ago, and the bandits, wanted to clean out a wizard's tower.
Right. What I'm saying is we can circumvent all of the speculation because of what I can do.
And what's that?
My calling is the spirit calling.
Yeah, well, you can't.
Oh.
It doesn't necessarily have to do with the dead. That's a common misconception.
Well,
I'm capable of manipulating mana and commune with the dead. Also capable of going incorporeal for extended periods of time, but what it really is working directly with the spirit or the soul.
Well, yes, but his soul is trapped in the ring.
Exact.
Yes. You'd be able to directly communicate. That's
And just so
great.
just so I'm cleared up, like from my understanding as a Fae and what you told me, that wouldn't work, right? Because he's like fully trapped in that ring for suffering and
So
stuff.
the ring is keeping the soul from passing on. Think about it like a bouncer of a club.
Oh, okay. So it's like
Yeah.
he's stuck in a bubble. Right.
Yeah, he's stuck in a bubble. He is Glinda Goodwitched. Except he can't leave the bubble.
So you can't. Would that prevent? Well, no, because the Tualulin would want to hear his suffering and such more than likely.
That's something that they can do, yeah. Because I mean, with a 22, I could definitely give you this. Detect thoughts would work. You can use it to speak to the very distant mind that is within the vessel.
But would Balvin's trying to talk to the soul, would that work? Or
That would work because, like I said, it's like a bouncer to a club. The bouncer is
Okay.
keeping the soul from entering the club, aka the afterlife. But people that are outside the club, like you guys, you're in line, you could talk to them. They just can't speak back right now. This, like using the spirit calling, is as if Bao Lin is standing in the doorway of the club talking to the person in line. So there
Okay.
can be communication. It's acting as a bridge. You're just talking over the bouncer's shoulder. And with what Capri is saying there, yes, Grila's telepathy can help. So you have two methods of being able to speak to the human raisin that is in front of you. This horribly, horribly mutilated human raisin.
Go ahead.
I was going to recommend you save your calling, but no offense, Grilla, you seem to have a very biased opinion of this individual in spite of never knowing him. Just because of that banner?
The banner.
The banner.
It's not a good company. Gesture towards it. It's the Order of the Rise and Fall. More associated with revelry and associated with the rise and fall of the moon. Specifically under the moon god Shuichi. They preach a lot of camaraderie, enjoyment of the challenge, glory, but when it comes down to needing to put up with it, you're full of shit.
I think based off our observations, this man was not associated with them. While you two figure out...
Still has enough of an association to be used as a plant.
Yeah, well, I have to go let a creature in. I'll be right back.
Wonderful. While they're distracted, I would like to get spirit calling.
Hey, it's your prerogative. If you want to do it, you want to do it.
I do. I understand what they're saying, but it turns to look at Grilla. I get what they're saying. You wanna tap in while I'm talking?
I follow your lead.
Holy fuck, teamwork.
Alright.
Fair, we work well together.
I will activate my spirit calling.
Okay.
To commune with the spirit of the human raisin.
Okay.
And I will use my
Right.
telepathy to try and strengthen the connection in order to allow for a better communication.
Okay.
I'm just using one. Just because I don't think that communicating directly to it would be too intellect also works.
Nah, you know it's weird, so like you're fine. Like the spirit is present. It'd be, and also like it depends on whether or not it's willing. Which you're the first people to fucking visit it in years, so I'm pretty positive it's like any conversation's good. So yeah, you can roll attack if you want, so you can get the roll out of the way. It's DC 10.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
Do I technically have proficiency in my spirit calling?
Spirit calling is something that, because it's a spell, not a skill.
Ah, very well.
Yeah.
We're good. That's all I need to know. I just had to ask,
I understand.
That's a solid point. Not that you need it, but I was going to say, with my telepathy aiding, would that technically count as assisting for purposes of advantage?
It would be assisting in purposes of advantage, yes.
21.
Oh well. Roof shot.
You start speaking to the spirit.
Dungeon Mage.
It's been so long. It's been so long.
Well, bless you. Did you sneeze as a spirit?
No, I sneezed at the god that's talking as the spirit.
Ah, that was impressive.
It's quite
You're a
dusty in there.
god. Okay, that's I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What purpose do you have with this ring?
People that killed me, they put it on as I was in my death throes. I was trying to take it off, and that's when they rose their banner and drilled it into my chest. I've been here for 3 decades.
It's quite a while.
I just want to go. I just want to find an afterlife to rest in. Anywhere is better than here.
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Grill's gonna see Balin start to smile a little bit. It's not necessarily like a happy smile. It's like a I have a plan smile.
Bill just averts his eyes.
Did you enjoy your research? Were able to conduct it, or your delving?
I was aiding in research, yes. To the mage of this tower, they sought to achieve a higher form, but they needed someone on the outside. Me, among a few others. We were searching for crystals to help enhance the process, to reach a pinnacle state of acme, and we were found out. One by one, we were trying to hide. We set our means of protection up top. We continued our research down below. It only hindered us by 2 years. We would have succeeded. And then the rise and fall came upon us. And I was the first one, I think. Everyone else was in the orrery with the project.
What if I could offer you a chance to return to your research?
It's been decades. There's no point.
There'd be no point.
That order sought us out for a reason, which means they more than likely wiped out the research, stole it for themselves, or over time it had long deteriorated due to the tower's failsafes.
That's interesting. why would we then be tasked or moving towards the tower these 30 years later? Even if what you say is true, considering the state of it, I would think that there is something to be found.
If
Which
there
means
is,
that-
I wouldn't know.
Well, you aided in it.
I did. Decades ago. And I've been trapped in this hole. So how am I to know what happened deeper within?
Well, it's just, I find it curious. Do you not?
I would like to know what happened to the research.
Would you like me to give you that opportunity?
I just want an afterlife to go to.
I can promise that.
What is it that you were brokering to me?
You were saying something, Grila?
Grilla's. Yeah, sorry. Grilla was able to hear the communication between the Hazen and Berlin because of telepathy, right?
Yeah.
Before you get a chance to ask that question, Grilla would jump in. You said they killed you whenever you tried to take the ring off. Why did they make you keep the ring on? Or what did the ring do?
I suspect the ring prevented me from being able to pass on. They put it on, said that this will be my tomb. And as I was trying to take it off, that's when they impaled me with the banner.
Sounds like the rise and fall. Sorry to interrupt. Spell it.
You wish for an afterlife, and that is something I can guarantee. All that we need is to be able to get into that tower. We don't wish to destroy your research or use it for ill-gotten gain. If there is research there, we have people that... Yes, this is all mental.
Yeah, this is all mental. Also, you're already in the tower.
Well, there's more to it.
Yeah, there's deeper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is. But we have our people that we need to take care of. I have sworn to protect individuals that need protection, as have my compatriots here. All that I ask is for your assistance, and I can guarantee you an afterlife.
I need to know what you'll be doing with me.
Simply that, just your assistance. I don't know what exactly I would need. Just anything that may assist us when going through the tower.
And how would you be making me assist you?
I can manipulate a soul. Your ring is keeping you from re-enter or exiting. So rather than pushing you out, I can put you back in. Early, of course.
Are you saying resurrection, then?
I don't think so. In all honesty.
If I effectively come back to life, then I will have no afterlife. And I will only have the afterlife of monsters. And I refuse that.
No. No. You would have an afterlife. Because your soul would be bound to me, for lack of better words, and I could send that to where it would need to go.
I'm done speaking with you.
It was a simple question. You can say no.
I
You
fear
don't
that you
need
do
to.
not understand the cultural intricacies of humanity.
I apologize, I do not. I'm not from this plane. Would you please educate me so I don't make this mistake in the future? I am looking to help you. I just would like some help as well.
When a human dies, coming back to life in any capacity removes their favor from the icon. And thus, we cannot go to an afterlife. When humans die, our spirit can go anywhere, freely, unbidden, and unbarred. Any afterlife is our afterlife. We can visit any plane. Fully protected.
Ah, so you wouldn't be constrained to a specific plane or be given a worse hand at that point.
I can travel anywhere upon my death. That is what would happen. But if I were to come back to life, it would be spurning the gods, specifically Tenebris. And upon spurning Tenebris, my soul would not be able to properly pass on, and I'd only be able to worship the embodiments of nature or the champions of dungeons.
Can I make a religion check to validate what he's saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
You would have advantage because Grila has it.
Bruh.
Same with Mistral.
18?
All right, with an 18, yes, that's actually how humans work. Whenever a human dies, their spirit, because of the icons, is allowed to go to any afterlife. This is because most of the human icons have friends in other pantheons, companionships in other pantheons. Because of that, that means that humans are the only race that's able to visit other cultures, like in the afterlife, and being able to maintain their friendships when they are dead. If a human were to come back to life by any means, what will happen is it will damn their soul, as Tenebris is against the unholy practice of the returnal of life. So, revivify, resurrection, reincarnation, those spells bringing you back to life, nope. You are no longer able to worship the icons. The icons will never accept your prayers. You are shunned from them, and as such, your soul is no longer protected by the icons, which means that upon your passing, either you can continue worshiping the icons and receive nothing. So when you die, other creatures, other petitioners of other planes can just take your soul outright.
An overlord always needs servants.
And upon taking your soul outright, they will infuse it into the plane of existence they are a petitioner from. Or you start worshiping another god. And upon worshiping another god, well, Like, you can worship the embodiments of nature, which will freely accept your prayer, as then you will go to their plane when you die, and thus can be reincarnated. Or you can worship the champions of the dungeons, so monster deities. And when you worship the monster deities, no matter what, you will be reincarnated. So that is how that works.
Okay.
Only one of those options gives you an afterlife. The other option, which is the dungeon option, does not give you an afterlife. You just come back as the Great Core, which is Omen, absorbs your body, absorbs your spirit, and then you are repurposed as something else.
I just have a question.
Yes.
Because I know I'm not part of this second conversation, but I'm just curious. Because of Fey logic, does that circumvent that? Because he's not dead to Mistral, he's alive. Does Fey logic circumvent the no revive policy that the idols have?
The no revive policy of the icons,
Or the icons?
that's still like, I mean, that's a cultural thing. So if you don't want to recognize his culture and bring him back to life, I mean, you damned his soul. As good of a deed as you think that you're doing, you damned his soul, and now he can only worship in 2 pantheons, and upon his death, he's fucked. So
I was just wondering for like if that was just like because Fey logic could circumvent that potentially.
nah, there is no circumventing what happens to his spirit upon this happen, like upon him coming back to life, if he were to come back to life.
Okay.
Okay. I have the information that I need, and I'm willing to. I'm ready to speak to him once more.
Okay.
I see. I understand what you're saying, and I did not fully comprehend it until you had made your statement, and I did not mean to basically offer damning your soul. That is not what my intention was, and I will apologize for that. You clearly have a deeper reservoir of knowledge than I do in this situation, especially when it comes to humanity. Would, just so I understand, if I were to, say, be a medium or a conduit for you, if there were certain things that we needed within the tower, and bring your soul with me, would that still damn your soul?
How are you bringing my soul with you?
Just allowing yourself to attach to me.
Then that will still damn me, as now I am an undead. I would be treated as such by tenants.
What if I take the entire corpse? Your entire corpse, I apologize.
If you take my body with you and do nothing to my spirit or my body, besides just having it travel, and communicate with me the same way that you have been, then there will be no foul play. And upon the removal of this ring, hopefully I'd be able to pass on to a proper afterlife.
Would assist us with the rest of the tower as far as you can. And up until that point, once we hit that point that you either can no longer assist us or you have met your goal, then the Fae here releases your soul to wherever you wish to be without tampering with anything.
You may take me with you, And when I feel as if I've given you everything I can, you are to release me. That is the deal.
That sounds reasonable.
Would it be fine if my companion here, Grilla, would be able to communicate with you? I have limited times that I can actually do this form of communication. Meanwhile, it appears that he can communicate with his telepathy.
I'm fine with being able to communicate with Grilla.
Wonderful.
Hmm.
And my name is Baolin. I apologize for not saying so earlier.
It is fine. I was not expecting names.
I understand. With that being said, I will not tamper with your soul in any way. And to avoid even the chance of that happening, Grilla will be communicating with you once you feel that you have given everything that you can. And we will check in periodically as well to give you a chance to say something. Because I understand that it is not a two-way road. We have to form a connection with you. We release your soul so that you may go to whatever afterlives you choose to explore.
Thank you.
Then we have a deal?
We have an accord.
Balin will furrow her brow. You determine the terms of it. It's just we haven't. You see that she's kind of like. She has her composure still, but she's like kind of thinking about like, is that how that works? Did he just slight me?
Huh?
I mean, you are a devil. You should know how to make a deal.
I am. I'm not. She is.
And while this is happening, Grilla will mop the dust off of the body and prepare to gently and with as much respect as he can without wanting to rip the banner out and just smash it to pieces, pick up the body as much of it in peace as can.
All right. You're able to do so.
Well, while he's doing that, though, I would ask one question.
Uh-huh.
Just through telepathy.
Uh-huh.
Does the name Melina Rivers ring any bells by any chance? Because she was mentioned by Alina herself as having a simulacrum here.
I look at bed.
Let's go high.
Hell yeah.
So, hi, good.
I have to stick with it. High good. Skin of my tits.
Huh?
Yes. There was a woman that passed by. She, long ago, she would visit, ask for different crystals, ask about the experiment. She aided in the experiment for a time. I'm unsure about some simulacrum. But she had passed by here many times.
Hmm. Thank you. I'll just look the Balin as where to follow.
Well, we are to follow forward. I believe Capri went up the ladder, however. Hold on. I apologize. We're still talking within this man's head. It was a pleasure to meet you, and thank you for the knowledge that you have given me. It is actually very important considering the fact that I am charged with protecting humanity at this point.
And also now you know that any deals that you make with humans, you have damned their souls.
Yup, so because of a word that I made, I can no longer make deals, but I'm a devil that likes making deals. Well, I'll just have to find a new hobby. I suppose I can take up tailoring. Mistral, she will say out loud.
Yes.
The Dungeon Mage has agreed to assist us as far as they are capable of assisting us, so long as we do not tamper with their soul whatsoever. And once we have assisted them, we are to release their soul from the confines of the ring that has bound them.
Okay. If you remove the ring, it should just simply let the soul pass on. Speaking of which, you should probably, when that comes, probably should give that to me and I'll handle it.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Smile.
Just for reference, Undead, what season are we currently in?
Season?
Yeah.
Varela.
Okay.
Is that summer?
Yep.
I'm learning.
Yep, there's Lasay, Varela, Tualul, and Laruk.
I like Laruk.
Yeah, Laruk is wintertime.
That's my jam. I love the cold. I don't know if you can tell.
Nah.
Since we've been down here for a bit, what's Capri doing up there?
With that being said, I'm going to swap over to Twitch because I have to drop for the night.
Oh, alright.
Completely understandable. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for
Nice
having
seeing you,
me,
Eddie.
guys. Likewise, I should be here next week unless we really fuck up, but things are much better over here. Not quite as insane. So, we'll see.
I won't be
with
able
that-
to. I won't be able to do next week. I'm going to be part of somebody's 24-hour birthday stream on Thursday.
Oh.
Oh,
Happy early birthday for 24 hours?
Yeah, it's my buddy Nello. He's doing one. It starts at 6 p.m. EST.
Heck yeah.
be sweet.
Shout out my boy Nello. All my homies stand Nello.
Dude, we stand Nello in these parts. We stand Nello. We stand him and his
Alright.
wife Grila. They're both amazing people.
Yep. Both of them. Alright. Guys, gals, non-binary pals. À tout à l'heure, bonne nuit.
Arrivederci.
Hoorah.
By the way, Frog Sprite, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Pathways. Hope you enjoy your time on the beat. I get to finally say it.
I'll bless you first of all. I'll
Thank you.
carry the body and just. I'll slowly make my way up the ladder just to avoid disturbing the body, but not being stuck on the ground floor.
Okay.
I'll let Balin go first because I don't hear a radio saying that he's going to be able to say no. So
So, Capri, you're up here looking at these this rock. I do want you to make a nature check, and because of how long that took down there, can you make that an advantage, please? or survival at advantage.
I wish I knew the survival a bit earlier, because that's a bigger plus.
Well, let's see. It would have been a 14 plus 6. That'd be 20 if you did survive. So we'll treat it like that.
Okay.
So 20 survival. Also, hello, Hikaru. Hello. Hey. So a 20 survival. Based off of the layout of this area, so this is the obvious part. For those of you that understand how water and stone works, aka erosion, the parts that are naturally carved through via the waterway, that's going to lead into the more natural parts of the cavern. Parts that have been blatantly carved, have walkways, are going to lead to the more man-made portions of the cavern. But judging off of this particular circumstance, both of these are going to lead to different areas of the same room. One is going to lead further down below, of course, and one's going to be leading pretty high up. Now, just as a reminder for those of you that did their homework, or at least remember last session, I did say that it was the fourth room, and I showed you the fourth room. So more than likely, if you head up north, you're going to make it to a high up platform. If you head down below, you're going to be seeing all of the barrels and flints. Keep that in mind. That's essentially me saying you can go either way. You will end up on different portions of the map wherever you go. No matter what, it will be that orrery. And I'm eating honey bun donuts.
Hmm.
I am under the impression that since radio is not here, that it would be ill-advised to proceed forward.
No, we should, because it's always going to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've only been here for 3 hours. Well, less than 3 hours.
Above or below, how do you wish to go? Into the oratory.
Above. It's a lot easier to have an overview of everything from above.
Then above is this way, to the north.
Yay!
Unless you want to continue being human and process at your speed, since my tendencies of prolonged deduction seem to annoy.
No, it's just priorities are a bit out of whack with actions.
It's okay, Captain Handwave.
Yes, survivability seems to be lackluster amongst the short-lived.
Yes. But at that point, you're surviving, not living. I don't want to survive, I want to live.
Oh, I intend to live.
I'm here for a fun time.
I just don't intend to kill everyone doing it.
My God, the party's heading up. Look at them go. Look at the party.
Is this just a platform?
Yeah, that's a platform.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you still leaving the corpse down there?
No, I was taking it with me. I said I'd be going slow, climbing the ladder just so it doesn't get disturbed.
Okay. Yeah, Egregore is kind of acting as a prehensile tail and just holding on to them.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Once we get into a more comfortable position, I'll transfer it to my hands, hold it, this fireman, and then just have the tail ready to attack if need be.
I get to take you to the new map. I get to put you on the new map. Where you leave from here. Let's go. Let's go. Whole party. Whole party right here. Activate. Bip. Behold your doom. Look at this massive orb. See, that's where that bright light would have taken you. Clear down here. Y'all made it up here through this little cave entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Right here's a glowy little hand.
Say it again.
It's giving the middle finger.
Whoa, what the? Oh, that's an Amber Alert.
What, the hand?
Apparently. That's what my phone said.
Amber is very rude, just making an alert like that.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully that channel gets found. Anyway.
I have a dark fact involving Amber Alerts, but I'm not going to say it.
Let's not.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll trade you a seal about facts for it.
Can we just make a perception check around the room?
Yeah.
Get a general idea.
Feel free to roll, I guess.
Hey!
And you said you needed Bowlin,
Aw.
huh? You need a radio here, huh?
Let's start.
Get that 32. Let's go.
think she
36.
did.
Everybody do da 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 da.
32. 32. He rolled a 30.
Yeah, definitely tainted the rest of us.
Yep. Gotta love
Well, you
that
don't-
inter-party taint.
So, good luck with handling the battle issue malfunction. Have fun
Yeah,
with that.
that's why don't mess with cursed objects. You should just let me take the ring. No.
I don't mess with cursed objects. I'm too busy trying to find the natural order of things and trying to keep you lot alive, much to the derangement of mayflies.
Just the derangement. That is so beautiful. All right. We're going to start from the bottom, move up. With the 6, I mean, what you see is what you get. Entirety of the room, you see like the banners. They're hanging about. You see the roughly hewn statue. You see the pathway that was set up here with the lights. Of course, you see like, you know, the water, the deep pool of water with what looks to be a massive platform that has plinths leading to it. A lot of barrels are kind of floating about in the water. There's a lone one over here. Somebody will love it someday. But today is not that day. And then, of course, you see the hand giving a strange salute as this finger and this finger are down. Same thing with the thumb, but the middle finger and the ring finger are both sticking straight up. So, you know, rock on, I guess. But shout above Jesus Christ. Oh my God, thank you. But you also see on here that there's a very torn and tattered book that is on this plinth down at the bottom, because there's like a little slit that's in the base of the hand. There's a book in there. So this may just outright be the platform to be casting whatever spells necessary or to make offerings. Now, of course, we have the 12. And with the 12, you're able to discern a few more tidbits. So first off, of course, we have the ladder leads on down, all of this regular stuff. But the 12 allows you to see deeper in the water. Now you see that this is not a platform. This is the top of what would be a large vat. Unsure what's in the vat, but this is a lid. This whole thing's a lid. And you can also see that there are instructions that are written at the top of these fingers here. And that these 3 fingers are actually able to move. You see that they are articulated. But with a 32, which is the incredibly concerning part. Oh dear. That. Day 32, this is the concerning part. So the ceiling itself, you notice that it is vaulted, of course, but you also see that, and this is something you can't see on the map, so I kind of have to describe it. There's depictions of the planar cosmology on the ceiling. And you see that each plane has different crystal clusters in them. So, of course, the 30 elemental planes, they have the elemental crystals that are in them. Same thing with the corrupted elemental planes, which are set alongside them. They also have elemental crystals in them. We have the afterlife planes, so the planes of the gods. All of those have mixtures of crystals. Omen has mainly just a large destiny mana crystal that's in it. But you see that all of these planes of existence in the planar cosmology have mana crystals tied to each portion. And with these mana crystals tied to each portion, there's parts of it that raise concerns. As an example, both madness and corrupted madness are next to each other, and yet they are in harmony. They're not disruptive. They haven't changed anything, but they are there. They're present. Oh damn. Yep. Stream drop.
Oh dear.
And we're back. Damn.
You didn't cut it. We heard you.
Yeah, my latency is wild tonight. I don't know.
Ooh.
I think it's because a lot of stuff's been happening as of recent. Also, it might be Twitch itself, because Twitch was having an issue earlier, according to the Twitch Creator Club. Apparently, there's a huge problem.
Yeah. Few ups, it's been like that. I think Discord and even OpenAI.
My understanding is that was a Google Cloud error they're fixing.
I think it's still in the process of being fixed. I know they gave an update saying, "Hey, by the way, it's fixed," but I don't think it is. I think it's enduring. Because I've dropped this entire stream. I've dropped 10,442 frames.
Wow, that's a lot of frames.
That's more than what I've ever dropped, which is just remarkable. But anyways, here's where we move into planar cosmology on the ceiling. You see that certain sections of it are lit up. And with that, with your perception check of a 32, you see that the sections that are lit up Because now I have to go and pull up this, because this is where, yes, it is a puzzle. If you wish to engage with it, I am telling you as the GM, this is 100% optional. It will make the final boss fight extremely easy, but this will take a lot of work and a lot of knowledge involving the setting.
I mean, if I can, I would like to at least hear it. Just in that case, quick question: do you have like an outline of your cosmology?
I have a document that involves the planes of existence. The 30 elemental planes, 30 of the negative energy, like the negative planes, the evil planes.
So you don't have like a what's like an example of the cosmology then?
I don't have one outright. I would make one, and I would be doing it probably Saturday. I would more than likely make it Saturday. It wouldn't be hard, but I would make it Saturday. It would be an okay amount of work. Not like a ton, but it would be an okay amount, and I've been meaning to do it anyway, but all it would be giving is a basic outline of each. The general puzzle, which if you choose to engage it, requires for you to first make intelligence checks or religion checks.
I can make a religion check, that's for sure.
As can I.
No.
Oh,
Nah, please, somebody give me inspiration. Please, I want that to be big number.
I only have
Mm.
one.
not 20 I say roll tired on you.
Void, please. What can I do to pay you back for this?
Mm-hmm. Get to work, lamb chop.
Huh? Is that a yes?
Take a swig, not the whole thing. Take a swig of this, calm your nerves, get the work done.
Okay.
There's your inspo. Go forth and conquer.
Well, actually, is that something? Can I inspire an explosion roll?
Yes.
Just roll a one again.
That's a 40.
Aw.
The thing that I thought of for a moment was Capri just essentially going, here's your pad cap Lipitor that you should take, and then now you're inspired enough to go and roll better. Look at that, 17. 17 is the diabetes number. Congratulations.
You
took your
totally didn't see me pocket any of these shrooms. I have no idea what you're on about. I'm totally not making truffles for my friend later.
I see.
Nope.
That's.
Drug-induced was here. No.
I hope a 40 helps immensely in this puzzle solving.
Oh, it does. Oh, it does.
Weird. Yeah, I was gonna say it's weird for Mistral to know, and then I remember. Yeah, she's a fae. She constantly has to deal with the seasons. She probably has learned the cosmology because of it.
All right, with a 40, I can tell you outright about the puzzle. So, major things about it. You need to either A, have all of it light up, which is a task in and of itself, because not all of it's lit up. B, turn all of it off. C, finish the work of it, or D, harness it.
Okay.
If
So
you-
that's the four. That's the four outcomes.
Yeah, those are the 4 outcomes. Those are the 4 outcomes. Is all of that. Now, key thing here. If you finish it,
Mm-hmm.
because you got a 40. If you finish it, this will activate.
Mm-hmm.
And when this activates, whatever's inside is going to be completed.
Mm-hmm.
That is a whole different animal.
Mm-hmm.
If you choose to turn the whole thing off, the tower itself loses all of the integrity that it has, and in the span of a week, it will just crumble in on itself and destroy itself.
Okay.
And it will become an anti-magic zone.
Mm.
And it will be an anti-magic zone for, I have to roll 4d100 for this. Any exploding? No. For 173 years.
Pretty long.
Also known as a while. Now, of course, we have the other 2 options.
Siege, are you writing this all down? Because I see you good.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
got
was it?
notes.
Okay.
You can finish the work, which would be you utilizing what is here on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
If you utilize what's here on the platform, you can finish the work. If you finish the work, once again, whole different animal, but this is intrinsically tied to the ceiling. This is just another option that's tied to the ceiling. So you know how I said complete the work, which would be here, and just complete the
The
cosmology.
ceiling. Yeah.
If you just leave that alone, it will do it on its own. It'll just take a little bit. If you use this, you can manipulate this. That's why it's its own option. And then lastly, there's the harnessing, where it's that and the ceiling, but it's more of a fuck this. We're putting somebody or people down here, and they're going to harness it and use it.
Mm. Okay.
So those are your options. You have other things that you could do, but those are the ones that I have laid out. If you come up with a new option, congratulations. I'm going to work with it, but this is an optional puzzle that, yes, will make the final boss fight extraordinarily easy. Like, I shit you not, you could probably defeat that boss in 2 rounds. That is how easy it will make it. But this will require a lot of work and a lot of mental acuity, a lot of brain power.
Which is why you wanted a radio here. Or Balin, I suppose.
Well, it's the fact that if you choose not to engage in this, that is part of the reason why Balin would be useful. Like, of course, Balin's going to be very useful for here because being able to roll at advantage the entire time makes this extraordinarily easy, and you're not even going to really have to use that much brain power.
Well, clearly we don't, because Mistral here is just like, yep, yeah. This is how this works. Yeah, that goes there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is apparently, at least that's what my 2 goals have told me so far.
But overall, that's what the case would be. Balin, yes, would make this very easy, and you could just plow through it and go to the next room. Don't really need that, though. Like, that's just making it to where you have a shortcut. Balin is training wheels. This is just you riding a bike. You're just riding it uphill for the first time.
Okay. I have a feeling the map of the cosmology would be incredibly helpful in actually visualizing what we have to do, because I'm getting the feeling we're gonna have to do the light on, light off thing, where like turning one on turns something off or turns another on and stuff like that. At least that's the vibe I'm getting from this puzzle. But
It's not the turn things on, turn things off. It's turning things on in the correct order.
ah,
I will actually have a correct order written out. It is the absolute answer. But there are some crystals that haven't been activated, and you would have to find a way to activate those crystals. So that's another order. So it's like, for sake of example, if there's air mana crystals up there, and they are inert, you would have to find a way to activate them. That's what it would be.
okay.
The puzzle's meant to be like a bit of a pain in the ass, but it gives everyone, viewers and players alike, a better idea of how the cosmology works and what planes supersede other planes. So you'd at least understand there's a power hierarchy across the planes.
Yeah.
Like how Omen is at the center. And that's because Omen is the only plane of existence that can harness all of the planes at once in relative balance.
Hmm.
Now, of course, you could choose not to engage in this, and then you just be kind of in the room investigating it on your own, and then it would turn into the second half, which, yes, this room does have combat in it. You just gotta have a means of finding it.
Well, I mean, I see the mushrooms over here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The nice purple ones.
Which is like the only ones I'm seeing.
Yeah. I'll make it more apparent.
And perhaps the big spooky statue back here. No. Shoots lasers at us. Blows us up.
No.
As well as from what we've been told that that is effectively a hatch.
Yep.
So something could be released from it. And that would be the issue.
Yeah, the entity inside.
I have a
Right.
game theory. A horrible game theory.
You have a what?
I have a theory of what's in there. A horrible game theory of what's in there.
What is that, Capri?
Jeff Bezos.
God damn it!
It's an Amazon warehouse.
No,
I knew it.
his girlfriend. Yeah, I knew it. Never going back. Anywho, yeah, no. My speculation is that, I out of character as a player because I don't think Capri knows about the Rivers thing. Speculate whatever Rivers was working on is in there. Because if I were Rivers and I was doing something that important, I would contain it. Because I'm not going to let some inferior mind touch my hard work. Literally and figuratively. Perverts. Perverts, all of them.
So, just to rephrase, that I'm understanding it. Option A is to turn all the crystals up top on, which would release the creature inside the vat. Option B is to turn it all off. The tower collapses in on itself in a week's time and then turns into an anti-magic zone.
Uh-huh.
Option C is to turn all the crystals on top on in the correct order, which will properly complete whatever this experiment is, and then the thing inside gets released. And then option D is to open it, take the thing out, throw it into the fucking water for all we care, dunk ourselves in after we complete the thing up top, and have the experiment operate on us. Am I understanding this properly?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Well, what do I know? I come up with stuff on the cuff.
Damn it.
I'm so proud. No, because I love you all. You're doing so great. There you go. Yep. There you go. Let me. Yeah, you still have yours, so that's fine. There you go. There. See? Look at that.
Oh, thank you.
Look at that.
Huh?
Inspiration, motherfuckers.
So, yeah.
Because you're being diligent, and also you brought a corpse with you that is essentially you having your tooltips.
Huh.
Because they would have an idea of the cosmology if they're having to deal with mana crystals, at least in terms of the elemental planes.
As well as the experiment itself.
Yeah. So then, if I'm understanding correctly, it would be us going back and forth, answering, assuming this device here, which seems to be the main controller.
Yep.
Flipping the switches in to turn on the crystals up top in the proper order.
Yeah.
Okay. But then you said some crystals might be inert, and then we would need to, I guess, recharge them.
Yeah.
Is my understanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a lot.
Yeah, there's 30. Well, 30 plus. 30 is just the elemental plane, and then there's all the
And then there's-
afterlives.
And then there's ones that represent planes. So those are like clusters of like multiple mana crystals.
Yeah. I guess I could ask Horizon for help.
Yeah, sure, yeah, because he totally is gonna want to help. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is like Horizon's. Actually, no, that explains it. That explains why Mistral's like understanding this. This is just like, I don't know, maybe this is just Marisco's like thoughts. Not him.
Is your bitch ass talking to me? What?
Just that's Horizon apparently.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe it's just either it's Marisco or Horizon just absent-mindedly feeding me the information I need. Assuming, Horizon. Well, obviously Horizon knows all these things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Horizon's a know-it-all. That kind of comes with the territory of being an eldritch being. Just Horizon's not doing the Hermaeus Mora treatment of you are asking too many questions.
Well, Horizon hasn't actually talked to me yet, so
Yeah, true. You haven't crossed that line.
I don't know. I kind of apparently stood on the surface of one of his eyes, so
You shouldn't do that.
It's really rude.
yeah, I nearly went mad.
Good luck he didn't blink.
No, my sclera.
Glad I didn't get spaghettified.
You're going
Yeah.
to become Eldritch Spaghetti.
You think that the Eye of Cthulhu in Terraria had an awkward teen phase and had braces?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps.
How funny would it be if it had a retainer and like was just zipping at you, and then it would start hacking and coughing as if it swallowed it, and it spits it out like a projectile, and it just destroys whatever structures are in front of it?
Yeah, it actually works.
It just had like a singular frame. The big dorky glasses.
Mike Wazowski. Anyway, I'm sorry. I thought just popped in my head. It was intrusive.
Mhm.
No, it's understandable. I do have to be that person. Unfortunately, it is 4:45 in the morning for me, so I do think I'm gonna have to call for tonight.
Okay.
Yep.
I was gonna also kind of suggest that because it sounds like a big part of this is us really just asking you for more.
If you intend on doing the puzzle, yes.
Yeah, and I would like to. I would like to get the. I assume besides making the final boss easy, maybe there's just perhaps a bit of a reward for completing it. Besides that,
So here's
I mean,
here's
you
what
don't
I'll
have
say.
to.
Here's what I'll say. If you beat this room, like beat combat of this room, you get a level. If you complete the puzzle, you get 2 levels. As well as the bonus that comes from completing the puzzle. And depending on the completion you go, depends on how awesome the bonus is.
I see.
Yeah.
I think we should do the puzzle, guys.
I'm intrigued about it, but we need to put like an actual see what's lit up, what's not, if there's any sort of patterns of what we'd know in character regarding it. But
Yeah, we
I'm not opposed to it.
And we wouldn't be doing this next week because you said you were going to be a part of that birthday phone, so this would be the week after.
Yeah,
So
this
if
would be the week
Yep.
after. So technically, I have a
anything-
lot of time.
Yeah, if anything, it
Indeed.
gives us like a week or two to overlook the cosmology map or picture you make.
So I'll try to make it Saturday. Get that all situated because I don't really have much left for debut prep. I'm just gonna revamp some slides. I was just sent the video, so I can double check with the video. But yeah, I'm gonna be double checking all that stuff. Revamping debut slides. I already did my skit, which I showed you guys. That was lots of head slapping.
Mhm.
I might make that a sound effect in the new server. Just say.
Please do.
Just
Bam.
just bang.
Slap.
But yeah, so I'm going to do that. Get that set up probably Saturday. I get a haircut on Tuesday.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm going to my barber.
Hey.
He knows it's a
you
special
gotta
event.
look. You gotta look fancy.
I'm going to look real fancy for my debit. My
I
debut.
see.
But yes. So what we can do, we're gonna end here. Get our rolls out of the way. Got an 18. Watch his soul gets an nat 20. Never mind.
It's another fucking 5.
Well, hot diggity damn, I get to pick somebody.
I rolled so many 5s tonight.
5, 5, 5. It's 5. All right. Who do I wait into? No, I kind of want to. I want to raid into. Let's see. Do I raid into somebody who is doing a collab with the duck, or do I raid into somebody that I'm going to be hanging out with in 2 weeks and having dinner with?
Well, you did make those spaghetti jokes earlier. But ducks. You know what? Roll a d4.
All right.
Odd duck or even Steven.
All right. Even hangout. Odd duck. Duck. What? All right.
I actually co-stream with someone who loves ducks, so I'm used to making duck noises at random to startle her. It's adorable.
All right. Then we are raiding into Rennie the Vamp. My good old buddy Rennie. He's actually in my lore video. And I really love the line that she gave. I really love like how she delivered her line. Because it had a grim resolve about it. It was very well done. Very well done. So we're going to be rating the Rennie the Vamp. Rennie is currently doing a collab with Joladin, who is a duck. And I love her stream title, which is "Why Don't Vampires Bite Ducks? Because They Quack Under Pressure."
Aww.
This is why we love her. This is why we love her. But we're gonna go and show our wonderful vamp some love. She's an amazing person. So please give all the support that you can. Give some support to Joe as well. Joe's a pretty cool dude. I've seen him a few times. So hope you all have a good one. Next week I am probably going to be streaming Monday or Tuesday. Just to go and do some last minute testing. So they're both going to be test streams before my debut on Wednesday. So I will see you all later. Have a good one, everybody. Doses.
Bye.
Bye bye, chat.